What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Asa Studio, and here we are with another awesome tutorial in Photoshop. So today I'm going to be showing you part one of the video, and then I'm going to show you what I want to do in this part. Okay, so the first part, we use hue and saturation. I talked about hue and saturation and how to use hue and saturation to make your colors uniform. Instead of doing frequency separation right away on this, you can actually do, you need to make some color correction. So hue and saturation is one of the powerful tools you can use in doing color correction. So you can go ahead and go watch the video before coming to this, but I'm just going to show you a quick thing we do. So with the hue and saturation, we corrected the colors like this. So let me just open it. We use just two hue and saturation. The first one is to correct the red and part of the luminance of the red, and the second one is to correct the yellows. So we corrected the overall yellows and the red. Okay, so that's what we had. Then I created the stem visible layer. So now with this stem visible layer, I want to retouch. I want to do some frequency separation so I can retouch this. So you might be wondering, oh, this should be very hard. Yes, it should be very hard. Okay, so some of my other video I talked about the blur. So let's get started first. Ctrl J twice to duplicate the layer. I'm going to name this one color, but separating the color and the texture. So look at what I'm going to do. Texture, T-U-R-E, enter. Now I'm going to turn this off, select the color layer, go to filter, blur, go to Gaussian blur. So one of my video I talked about the blur value for your frequency separation. Do you need to use high blur value, or do you need to use low blur value? Alright, so this is the trick here. When you know that you need to perform a very high retouch, like this skin, you need to make it smooth. You need to use a very low blur value, meaning you need to blur it just a bit. Now once if it's actually little adjustment you want to make on the skin texture, like you just want to edit some rashes and the skin is already smooth, you just want to blend colors, you can increase the blur value to somewhere like this. Okay, so now the difference is that once this is high, if this is high, when you are blending this, it's just going to blend the color. You're going to find it difficult to use your texture layer, your clone stamp tool on your texture layer, because whatever place, if as you are sampling from the texture layer, it's actually not going to be doing much. So I'm going to use a low blur value so that when I'm doing the retouching on my texture layer, it's just going to be very easy for me. So let's bring it down a bit. I'm just going to bring it down a bit, so something like this should be fine, and then I'm going to hit OK. Now let's go ahead, turn on the texture layer, select it, go to image, apply image. So now you can see that the texture we have here is just small compared, assuming we have a very high blur value, are going to see a lot of texture. So just select on your color, on your layers, select color, your blending mode, subtract to 128, and then click OK, and then change the blending mode to linear light. So see what I'm talking about. Now once I select my color layer, it will be very easy for me. Select the color layer, select the mixer tool brush, and make the brush settings like this. Now it will be very easy for me, or very easier to do. So I'm just gonna, you see, so now it's just small. You can see how it affects the blending. So if you want to use your clone stamp tool on your texture layer, is just going to be easy. So something like this. Let me select the texture, hold down Alt and select some places, so you can see how very easy it is. So once you know that you have very high skin retouching, you want to retouch the skin, a very high end retouching, you need to use a very low blur value, unlike this place. So this applies to all this. If I select this and then go to our mixer tool brush, you can see that just going through it's just going to make it very smooth. If I use very high blur value, it's going to be very hard for me to make these changes under the blur, under the color. So that's just what I want to point out. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly finish the frequency separation. So just look at the magic it's doing, just because we have a very low blur value. Alright, so guys, just wait till I fast forward this and finish up the the frequency separation. So this is what I'm going to do for this side. I'm just going to copy some texture from this side, hold down Alt, select, and I'm just going to put it on it. So we have something like this. Same as this place, select this and just put some texture on it. So something. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the blending. So we could also do same for this side, and then this side, and then this side. Notice I didn't turn on the align. So I'm going to go back to the color mixer, the mixer tool brush rather, sorry. And then I'm just going to blend and blend and blend and blend. So go back to the color, sorry, I'm supposed to be using the color. So I'm just going to blend it. Blend around. So this, so for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to group the frequency separation, and I'm just going to show you so before and then after. So let's create this time visible layer, Control Shift or then E, and now we could add some let's add some curve, and let's see the way this is. So you can see that the graph is tilted towards the right and we have low end. So I'm just going to increase this one up, so not too much, and then I'm going to grab the exposure and increase the gamma selection. I like using that a lot, so to get more defined. So we still have some saturation, we could decrease that with the hue and saturation. Okay, so we could decrease the saturation. Let's just reset and go to the red or the yellows. I'm going to bring it down a little, go to the yellow, bring it down a little. Okay, so just to create some of the definition, we could use some color balance. So on the color balance, I'm going to go to the highlight and give it some, some blues. Let's use some blues in the case, and let's see how the magenta looks, and the cyan. This, I'm not gonna look the red highlight. Go to the shadows, and I believe the shadows make things look okay. And just add some, yeah. So I'm gonna leave it like this, just a little color grade and not too much. So let's turn it on, and let's see, create a time visible layer. All right, so let's see before and after. I'm just gonna group everything together, turn it off and zoom in. So this is our before, and then this is our after. So thank you guys for watching. See you in our next video. Once again, this is ASAS Studio.